Aha. As you may already know, photography can be an expensive hobby. As I've practiced this hobby for years now, I've learned that it's fairly easy to drop a few hundred or even thousands of dollars just to get a new lens, let alone a new camera. But does it have to be this way? What happens when you purposefully spend as little money as you can on a good quality, yet outdated and often overlooked piece of gear? Welcome to the bargain bin equivalent of camera lenses, where you can get both a great lens and end up only paying 20 bucks. The Pentax-M 28mm f2.8 lens is one of those great bargain lenses. Okay, I say great and I really do mean that, but you need to adjust your expectations a bit. I mean, it can take great images, and I'm slowly learning that great images often have little to do with the most technically impressive gear. The lens is far from optically perfect, but in a way that makes it perfect for a creative photographer. The Pentax-M 28mm f2.8 lens is a plain lens that is easy to overlook. You will often find it attached to a Pentax-M or other film camera on an auction site. Although I mentioned before in an earlier video on the SMC Pentax 50mm f1.2 lens that the Pentax-M series was boring aesthetically, I have to admit this style has grown on me since using the 28mm more. This is due in large part to the overall feel of these lenses in the hand. They have that heavy-duty, cool metal, high-quality build that you wish your electronics had today. They don't make them like they used to is correct. The lens is compact, not quite pancake, but close enough. The focus ring is small, but easy enough to find when your face is smashed against the viewfinder. Certainly easier than the Pentax-M 40mm f2.8, a true pancake that I tried and found a little difficult to get used to. One of my favorite features of any lens, and especially wide-angle lenses, is a short minimum focusing distance. I was happy to discover that the Pentax-M 28mm f2.8 lens has a 30cm minimum focusing distance. Now, this isn't crazy close, but it was good enough for some nice close-up shots that really showed off the bokeh. And since I brought it up, let's talk about that next. This was my very first shot I took with this lens, and it was love at first sight. I think I actually let out some sort of squeak of glee when I checked the rear screen of my camera and saw the rendition. Don't worry, no one was around me. Wide open, the subject was sharp and stood out from a smooth background. Speaking of shooting wide open, it's one of my favorite things about this lens. The edges wide open are glowy and hardly sharp, but let's call it dreamy and use it to add to the overall aesthetic of an image. I think it can look rather nice. Stopping down the lens predictably increases the overall sharpness from corner to edge. It isn't the sharpest lens I own by far, but I think you'd agree that with the right subject matter, you'd be hard-pressed to notice. In a hobby that wants you to spend more than your first car on fancy new gear in exchange for promises of better results, it's refreshing to see that good results can be had for very little. All it takes is a little bit of creativity, a lot of practice, and about $20. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos stretching the limits of affordable gear, then subscribe to this channel. It's who I am. I'm all about doing more with less. Now, I'm curious what your favorite cheap lens is. Comment here or feel free to join in on the discussion on my blog and community forum. linked in the description. If you're looking for used camera gear at great prices with a warranty and returns from a reputable seller, check the description of this video for a link from a partner I am pleased to work with. See if they have what you're looking for the price that you want. That's all for now. Go out now and shoot wherever you are with whatever you got. And until next time, happy snapping.